What's up, everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're looking to get your music reviewed, you can hit up this email that's right here. But today I'm going to hit you up with my thoughts and opinions on this Metro Boomin project called Not All Heroes Wear Capes. Now, Metro Boomin is a super producer who had apparently retired back in the spring, and I think that surprised a lot of people because he is responsible for a ton of hits. That said, he didn't retire, he's back with this joint right here, and I'm very clearly able to say that he's going to have some hits off of this one. Even if you're not a big fan of his style, myself at times have said that his production can be a little bit one-dimensional. In spite of all that, he's still going to have some bangers and hits on this one, so I do appreciate Metro Boomin for what he's done on here, and also for what he's done throughout his career. I haven't liked everything he's done, but I'd be lying if I said he wasn't a great producer who's laced the game with some hits. Said that a couple times, but just trying to make it clear, goddammit. Now, one of the productions on here I really enjoyed was on 10 a.m. / Save the World. We get some beautifully somber string and key work and a decent Gucci Mane feature where he's working a soft flow. And there's also some eerie horn-infused production on 10 Freaky Girls that actually made me like a 21 Savage song. You guys know by now that 21 Savage is one of my least favorite rappers. I find his monotone style and flow just to get very boring and redundant quickly. But he was actually on fire on this one, man. I thought he actually was trying a little bit harder. It seemed that way at least, and he had some fun lines like when he was referencing Moesha and Macho Man. I'm an 80s baby, I came up in the 90s, so you know damn well I gotta show love for that. He also outshined Kodak Black and Travis Scott on No More, where he came through with some really personal bars. I felt like on this track, this was one of the best 21 Savage verses I've ever heard, so I gotta give him props, man. I think of all the features on here, he really came through. So what he said on this track was, I feel weak for using drugs to ease the pain, from the street, concrete in my vein, getting a little personal look there into how he's been struggling with different issues and just self-medicating. He's from the streets, he's been through some things, he's witnessed some things, but he's doing what he's got to do. A little bit of change, make a nigga change, different tax bracket, but my number's still the same. He's not switching up, even though he's been through all those things and he has the success now. I done seen dope turn a nigga who had hope to a nigga with no hope hung himself by a rope. Just the harsh realities of how drugs can take over people's lives. They can become depressed, suicidal. I just thought this was a great verse, and I really hope to hear more of this from 21 Savage on his next project. With that Issa album he dropped, I really wasn't impressed much at all. He was alright on Without Warning, but I did feel some more potential here. Other than that weird whispery shit he was doing on Don't Come Out the House, which also isn't helped out by that bland-ass Tay Keith assisted production. I'm just tired of that toy piano or whatever the fuck it is that he brings. Just sounds the same every time. Other than that, I really was a fan of what 21 Savage did on here, and I would say that he's a star. You can look at some of the other performances on here. Just look at the track list, man. You pretty much know what you're in for when you see Travis Scott, Gunna, Young Thug, Sway Lee. Just a lot of that auto-crooning, a lot of simple topics, nothing overly interesting. And of course, you don't go into this expecting great lyricism and bars. I'm not trying to say that. But even still, I felt like some of these performances were really dialed in, specifically Gunna. At this point, I still don't understand all the hype about Gunna at all. He sounds all right. I mean, he's got a decent flow. He's got some catchy melodies. I understand that. But to me, he just sounds like the great value Young Thug. He's Young Thug with half the charisma, passion, humor, interesting bars, strong performances. I am just not sold on Gunna yet, or Lil Baby, just to throw him out there, since those two seem to come up, together whenever they brought up in topics, just because they did that project together. I just wasn't impressed with a lot of the features here, and I think that's what really held this project back. If you love these artists, then of course you're going to be happier with this project than me. I'm just not a big fan of these guys, including Kodak Black. He has a very lackluster verse on that No More track. I really just wanted more from the features here, because I think Metro Boomin killed the production. Like on Overdue, where we're getting some nice vocal samples and beautiful string work, and on Borrowed Love and Only You, he's even messing around with some Afrobeat / dancehall vibes. Just that sort of tropical sound, that island vibe, you might say. And I thought it was actually alright on Borrowed Love. Sway Lee sounded pretty good on there, just a nice and catchy track. Not something I'm really going to come back to. I'm not in love with it, but it sounded alright. But as for Only You with Wizkid, Offset, and J Balvin, this just sounded like a very generic mainstream radio attempt, so I could have done without that. And at the end of the day, I'm going to go with a 2.5 out of 5 here, man. There really isn't much more for me to break down. Love the beats, wasn't in love with the features, and I did think about a 3, but after sitting with this for a couple days and coming back to it just to, sort of chip at it and see how I felt about it, I ain't going to come back to this one. Thought it was pretty average overall, but goddammit, Metro Boomin did his thing. He had a lot of versatility and variety on here, so I do appreciate that, especially since obviously I was wrong at the start of this review when I was saying that he brings a similar style a lot of the time. Well, he still does a lot of the time, but he mixed it up on this project. You know what I'm saying, man. I can admit when I fuck some shit up, and he made some good beats here. So shout out to Metro, the features, meh. But that's just what I got to say about it. You guys can check it out for yourself and then hit me up in the comments section with your thoughts. And of course, make sure you do all that good YouTube and social media stuff where you show me love and you show me lots of it. Thank you for watching, everybody. I will see you next time.